It's all about peace, spreading love in the world. So I gotta represent rebels for joy, positivity. You know that we're all about it. Magic happens when you align your purpose, passion, and power. Just believe in your greatness. I know for sure the light that you radiate too strong to ignore. Emotional revolution. It's time that we start. Love, we need more. We are rebels for joy. Woo!
Hey, sister, welcome back to another episode of Rebels for Joy, where we are aligning your purpose, passion, and power, all fueled by joy. I'm here with my good friend, Jillian. Hey, gorgeous.
Hi, Bonnie Kelly. How are you?
I am always smiling, I feel like lately. It's just a thing of mine.
Hey, I like it. Smiling's my favorite, right? And I'm already laughing because I have got a really good joke for you.
Great. Give it to me. Give it to me.
I literally hopped on. You're like doing our intro and I'm just giggling over here. Okay, ready? Why did the Scarecrow win an award?
The Scarecrow, I don't know. Why did he win an award?
Because he was outstanding in his field.
Oh, gosh. Bad punch rescue. I love it.
I can't stop laughing. Like, this is actually a little ridiculous, slightly overkill, but
oh gosh.
Yeah, he was outstanding in his field.
Oh, girls, hopefully you guys get as much giggles and smiles out of our ridiculousness when we first open the show, because our goal is to deliver you some joy. And this is just a powerful way we can do just that.
And at least I hope you giggle as we giggle, because like,
so
this
corny.
Is for real. Like my mascara is streaming down my eyes. Like that's ridiculous.
It's so corny. Oh,
all right,
I
what are
love
we
it.
talking about today? We've got a cool subject to talk about today.
We do actually. We're going to be diving into the 9 joy thieves. I mean, this is probably it's a series that we're going to end up doing. We're going to like dive into these throughout the next 6 months. We're going to tackle probably one of the biggest ones today, though. I think we're going to really try to give some ease to a lot of our ladies around people pleasing.
Yes. How many of you listeners, and do us a favor, screenshot whatever you're listening to if you're on your phone and share it, or take a picture of you and just comment, like tag at Rebels for Joy, and get excited about busting the people pleaser joy thief. If you are someone who has been a people pleaser your entire life and you are ready to learn how to release that, girl, I'm right there with you. We want to hear you because we want to be in the trenches with you. So share it in your stories, share it on Facebook, tag Rebels for Joy, because we're about to hop into this. Like let's go, because this is a big one.
Yeah. So you're going to hear us talking about the 9 major joy thieves, and I'm going to share with you what those are. But more so, we really want you guys to understand that there are some systematic things that are going to regularly rob you of your joy. And with some mindfulness and some quick shifts, we're going to be able to put you back in a place of personal power. Yeah. Okay. Purpose, passion, power, so that you can accomplish great things. But people pleasing is not going to accomplish great things.
No, it's not. But Bonnie, it's a really interesting comment that you just made, because a lot of people think it will. I thought it will. I thought it would for a long time. And I even didn't necessarily have to think about it. It was just something that I truly believed, that pleasing other people, making them happy, making decisions within myself that weren't necessarily in alignment with what I wanted, but I knew they would keep other people happy. I actually thought that was a quick escape into joy. So why isn't it? Why isn't that? Because that's a big paradigm shift, even to just hear that people pleasing doesn't actually lead to joy.
Yeah. Or if you're on the other end of a spectrum like me, I just recently, and I say this like in the last year, discovered that I was people pleasing in my relationship. And it wasn't out of the place of me wanting to please them. It was more out of a place of avoidance, to avoid confrontation, to allow myself to remain in peace and joy.
Right.
But it was coming at a detriment. It was coming at a sacrifice. And so I was people pleasing as a tactic of avoiding confrontation.
Isn't that so? People pleasing literally can show up everywhere. And the reason it doesn't lead us to joy is because whatever that outlet is for you, and I'll share mine, it's not you being your authentic self.
Yeah.
it's not you making decisions based on what you actually want. It's you making decisions based on what will avoid confrontation, what will impress the most amount of people, what will keep people subdued the longest and not get all riled up. All of these things may seem great, but it comes at the cost of your integrity and you showing up for what you want, how you want to.
Yeah.
And the whole concept of making choices based on what you want, I know is a podcast episode that we'll have to get into really deep, because that's a whole other can of worms. But essentially, people pleasing it's the way for us to play small so that we can hide behind this need to either impress,
Feel
avoid,
loved.
feel loved ultimately.
Yeah. And that's really what a lot of us aren't connecting the motivator from. Okay. Because a lot of the people pleasing came from conditioning, right? So whether our mom, sister, aunt, grandmother, whoever was like chronic people pleaser and taught us that people pleasing, or maybe it was conditioned that as a child that you were the good girl and the good girl always got good things. So you learn that I need to constantly be good, and that maybe being bad or failing is going to equal me not being loved.
Yeah.
Whatever the reason is why we've adopted this. Now what we're doing is we're sacrificing our needs, wants, and desires. We're sacrificing our voice, our choice, our dreams. We're sacrificing the very truth of who we are as a compromise that is all based on an assumption of what we assume the other person needs or wants.
Yeah. Whoa. And we're with you, listener, if you're like, whoa, that just made my head spin, because we've done this work ourselves, and it's like big loop-de-loops in your head. But when you can grasp the concept of, oh, this actually comes down to, do I feel worthy enough to make a choice based on what I want or based on what feels good to me, as opposed to making a choice because it's going to keep other people happier? It's going to keep me out of trouble. It's going to, like, there's a difference in the energy there. And girl, we want to reiterate for you that you are worthy of what you want, of feeling the way that you want to feel, of taking the action that you want to take because you want to take it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do any backflips. You don't have to push the mute button. You don't have to, play by somebody else's rules or script. You're worthy to do you, and it's okay if it comes at the expense of not pleasing other people, because so far you've been living the life where you've come at the expense of yourself and you're exhausted. You may be angry. You may be feeling like, why, like, what's the matter with me? Well, nothing's the matter with you. And you get to reclaim that all now with this conversation.
Yeah. There's something I love saying, and it is, what's right for you isn't always going to be what's right for everyone around you. And that's okay.
Yeah. And that's okay.
It's okay. Right?
Yeah.
Because you matter too.
Right.
You matter. Your voice matters. Your dreams matter. Your desires matter. And those things they cannot always align with everyone else's desires. It just physically isn't possible. Because you are unique and different. Your voice is unique and different. Your thoughts are unique and different. Your feelings are unique and different. And so you have to take yourself out of this box that you've put yourself in, saying that I have to conform or be said way, and allow the actual expression of you to be seen and heard, knowing that not everyone on this planet is going to like the new and improved and real version of you. You might get some haters, girl. It might happen. And that's okay.
Yeah. It's okay, because when you are yourself, I'm going to find it right now as I'm talking, but when you are showing up as your authentic self and you are being you, all of you, you gift other people the opportunity to see what that's like.
Yeah.
And you invite them to being them, all of them.
Yeah.
That's so powerful. Oh my gosh, it's so powerful.
And part of that as well is that the people who aren't willing to see themselves are going to throw rocks at you for you being seen. Because when you're shining that light super bright and it shines a light on other people's darkness, and if they're not ready to see it, to feel it, or connect with it, they might throw stones. But that has nothing to do with your worth. That has nothing to do with who you are. That has everything to do with them and their unwillingness to be seen and stand in their truth. And so trying to judge you for doing that. Sister, let it go. Not everyone's going to like you, and that's okay.
I made this post on Instagram. It was yesterday at the time of recording this, but probably by the time it's launched a month or so ago, maybe 2. The only people who will criticize you, your dreams, your actions, and your accomplishments are the ones who haven't done what you've done and likely aren't willing to. Raise the vibe and do it anyway. Because here's the thing. We try to please so many different people, and those people may not be willing to play on the same vibrational frequency as we are. So we are trying to dull our light. We are trying to lower ourselves energetically to match the norm of the people around here. And Bonnie, you and I always say, like, we get what's normal. We don't want to be normal.
Nope.
Like, we get what's standard and status quo out there, and we want to raise the bar all the time with that. And so, girlfriend who's listening to this now, if you are trying to people please and you are starting to witness that the people that you're trying to please are just vibrating on a lower vibe than you, so in order to please them, you have to reduce your standards, you have to come on down to their vibrational frequency, you're not only selling yourself short, but you're doing them and the world a disservice, because it is our job to raise the vibe.
Yes.
No longer are we living in a time, a day, and an age where I even feel it's acceptable to lower our vibe anymore. We are living in the time period, girls, of extending your hand and pulling a sister up. And if she doesn't want to come at that point in time, that's okay. She's got some more work to do. Don't we all? Right? The level of vibration that we want to get to in this lifetime is unlimited. So there's always that next step and that next opportunity for us to step into. But if we're going to play the game of making other people happy by doing what we think they want us to do, then we're actually sliding down the scale as opposed to giving them the opportunity to step up on their own personal scale.
Yeah, there's that old saying, your vibe attracts your tribe. And as you increase your vibe, you might accidentally eliminate some of your tribe.
Yeah. But and then it brings up the other old saying that some people come into your life for the entire lifetime. Some people come in just to leave, just for a little while, but everyone leaves footprints, right? So some people aren't meant to be there the entire time. And maybe it's your responsibility to help them look at what it is they need next for themselves by standing and sticking to your personal standards, because that will invite them to question, am I doing that for myself? Right? It's the ripple effect. It's that cyclicality, reciprocation, give and receive. And we don't like the concept necessarily of like losing people, or like, because it makes us feel like hoity-toity, like, oh, well, if I raise my vibe, then that means I'm becoming too good for people. That's not ever the case. If you are living and standing in your integrity and you are rising in your energetic way, then you're not too good for everybody. You're exactly where you are, and you're giving others the opportunity to raise their game. And isn't that what this is all about?
Yeah.
Is helping people step even further into their greatness, into their light. Like, what a joy, what a gift you're giving.
And the key component is not at the expense of yours.
Yes.
Helping a sister after you've stepped up to allow yourself to be helped too.
Yes.
We're here to, like, this is a big thing. Hopefully you guys are really seeing this radical shift in thought process around people pleasing, right? Is we have to get to this place of understanding of why you're behaving this way. Where did these behaviors come from? How is it serving you? How is it disserving you? But ultimately really get to this place of recognizing that the reasons why you do it are all based on these assumptions that are keeping you playing small and shrinking in order to have this illusion that other people feel more comfortable. And maybe they need to feel uncomfortable. Because what you're doing is that you're not only hindering your growth, you're hindering the opportunity for them to grow as well.
Yeah.
And this is where
Bonnie,
go ahead.
sorry to interrupt, but would you mind unpacking the concept around our assumption of other people?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a really good one. And I know what you mean with that, but like the truth is we do assume. We assume people want what they want from us. Like we don't actually even necessarily know that sometimes. So what is it that we do with that?
Yeah. Well, we know the old saying about assumptions, right? To assume means to, you said it, didn't you?
I'll say it. Make an ass of you and me.
I was like, I know all you girls listening, like you just said it. You said ass. I knew it. I heard it. But what the true definition of assumption is, it is that it's something that we accept to be true or certain without evidence.
Right.
True or certain without evidence. Okay. So maybe there was a season or time that your partner, your spouse, your mother, your father, your brother, your sister did want X, Y, and Z from you.
Mm-hmm.
But now the assumption is that they want that indefinitely versus maybe just that experience, that situation, that moment, or that season of whatever it is. So what happens is then we accept that information as certain or true without the evidence. We also don't recognize that a big part of that assumption is built on our own personal perspective, which was shaped and molded by our past experiences and not, again, in factual evidence.
Right.
So a lot of this is just stories that your brain has made up in order to help you better understand or comprehend what it thinks is happening in the world. But all of it is just based in speculation.
Right.
And not fact. So you have adapted and molded your behaviors around a suspicion of what could might be true or was true at some time. And thus you are making these sacrifices for what could be the wrong reason.
Yeah. Like, have you ever, listener or Bonnie, like, have you ever made the assumption that someone was mad at you and you like texted them and they didn't get back to you? And so that just added more fuel to the story that you were telling yourself of like, oh my gosh, she must hate me now, right? What can I do to please her, to put me back in her good graces? And like, really, like you broke your phone or like, like you know, like you were just gone. You were on vacation for the week and you didn't have your phone with you. And I said earlier that I would share mine. My people pleasing like need and really like deeply ingrained behavior was twofold. I was petrified of disappointing people and I wanted to impress people. And it sounds like those two things could be the same, but I actually went about them in two completely different ways. I would people please in order to not make people disappointed in me because I didn't want to feel the guilt of what I felt if I thought people were disappointed in me. And I would people please by wearing a mask and just putting on I can impress you. I'd rather impress you than run the risk of disappointing you. So I'll morph who I am so that will impress you based on my assumption of what I think will impress you, as opposed to run the risk of like saying what I actually want to say because that might disappoint you. Like holy double-edged sword. That goes really deep. And as you can imagine, when you don't have an awareness of this, and you like Bonnie, you said like you just uncovered that your people pleasing was an avoidance tactic.
Yeah.
I recently just uncovered those two elements of my people pleasing. And having one without the other wasn't giving me the full story. And so you as the listener, we want to ask you, where do you people please? And why do you people please? And where are you making assumptions in your life that are really perpetuating that need to people please? Because if I'm making an assumption that because Bonnie's not answering my text message, she must hate me, then I'm going to either put on the dance in the show with trying to overdo it and impressing her, or I'm going to walk around feeling guilt-ridden for something that probably didn't even actually happen because I have this deep fear of disappointing her.
Yeah.
And it's having that awareness with myself to say, but what's actually true right now? And what do I actually need right now? What do I actually want right now? Bonnie, I see you writing. I know when Bonnie gets writing, you're like, oh, I just like got a really good download. What's coming through for you?
Actually, what I was writing down is everything that you were just saying, because this is exactly where my mind was going as well. And what is going to be really helpful to you, our audience, is to have these in a nice, beautiful PDF downloadable sheet that would allow you to have a journaling exercise to really address these questions. Because many of you are probably listening at the gym, you're listening on the go, or you're listening on your walk, and you don't have the space or time right now to really be able to sink into these questions and really get to the root of your reasons of where you learn to people please, why you're people please, what is the purpose of soothing, what assumptions you're making. That's a lot of questions. Those are rapid fire questions. So I wrote it all down. What I'm going to do is that in the show notes, we're going to have a link to a downloadable PDF. And so you could just go straight to our website. You'll be able to just sign in and grab yourself a PDF, and it's just going to be there for you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yay. Cool.
You're welcome.
So for you listener, you literally just saw the creation of a freebie that we can utilize to serve you. That's awesome, Bonnie. Great idea.
Yeah. Because journaling is important. And, so I wrote all those questions down. And we're just going to keep it simple for you, because as your Rebellion You leaders, it's our job to help you evolve to that next place. And that does require action. It requires you to take action and actually changing and evolving your life. Because if you do the same thing over and over again, guess what? Same results. So the only way that we're going to begin to end these patterns, or end sacrificing your needs and wants, end putting yourself on the shelf and caring for everyone else, and actually allows you to rise and to live in a great, fulfilling life, is to do something different. And that different is whether it's journaling. That difference is joining our revolution. That difference is taking the 5-day Triple Your Joy challenge. That difference is joining Rebels University. That difference is getting involved. Do you get it? Like, it is really choosing to embrace this idea that you are an ambassador of joy. And that requires you to do the work to make the change so that joy becomes the standard in your life. By doing so, it gives you the opportunity to now reach out a hand and help raise up a sister, which is the vibrational space and stage that we have entered into. And so that's what we're doing. We're sending out our hands. So this PDF, Triple Our Joy, all the things that we're doing is us reaching a hand. All you got to do is grab it, girl. We're here.
Yeah. Oh, that's so exciting. And it feels so good, because here's the thing, and we talk about this all the time. It boils down to choice. You get to make the choice. You can continue living in a people-pleasing state that is fine. It's mediocre. It gets you away, or gets you out of confrontation sometimes, or it allows for you to just dance in like the comfort zone. Or you can learn how to like eradicate the truth of you, step into that space so that you can then lead your own personal revolution of joy, of love, of sisterhood. Because that's what this is all about. It's not just about you, Bonnie, and I having a conversation. It's about allowing for this to literally ripple effect and touch the rest of the world.
Yeah, because rebels dream bigger.
Yeah,
right?
sure do.
Rebels, meaning you, meaning Jillian, meaning I, we dream bigger. We dream of bigger and better lives. Mediocrity is not a word that is going to put us to sleep at night.
No,
right?
no.
That's a word that rattles my very soul, because I get one shot at this. One shot, right? Like, if I'm lucky to live 100 years and 20 of it was just figuring out how to walk and talk and school and all of that stuff. So that leaves me 80 left to really learn. And I'm already like 37 at the time of this recording, right? Like, time's a ticking, y'all. Like, I only have so much time to really live this life to its fullest. And I'm no longer willing to waste another minute pretending to be someone I'm not.
Yes. And that's what we do when we people please. We are pretending to be someone that we're not. And so, girl, we want to invite you in. We want to invite you in to dropping the masks, revealing the truth of you, making empowered choices based on what you want, without worrying about whether or not it will please the people in your life. That doesn't matter. What matters is your authenticity, is your integrity, and you living up to that standard that you've set for yourself. And if it's time to look at the standards that you set for yourself and admit that it's time to go higher, it's time to raise the bar, that's what we're here for. So as a reminder, we have a free Facebook group right on Facebook called Rebels for Joy. We do so many things in there. We provide so much inspiration, random little pop-ups with lives. We host different challenges. It's just an amazing place to be. And we really, really hope that you'll come on over there and you'll join us. And then we can help you in that space figure out what the next step is for you in undoing the people pleasing and undoing the other actions and beliefs and behaviors that the joy thieves that are out there are eliciting for you, so that you can live that life of those bigger dreams.
Yeah, so good, you guys. So just note, this is my last little point here is, as you are making these changes, know that it might get a little messy. Okay, as you're beginning to embrace your new voice and starting to shine your light, it is going to look a little messy and people might not understand. So know that unsettling feeling, that uncomfortable feeling that you have the first time you say no, the first time that you begin to speak your truth, the first time you begin to ask for what you want is normal. And it might get some resistance because people are conditioned to see you or expect you to do certain things. And when we surprise them out of that, it can be very challenging for them. And that's okay. However, the more you continue to show up in this new version of you, the more that they're going to get used to and feel safe with this new version of you, so that they can too learn to love the true version of you. So it's a process. I want you to breathe through it. You've got this. Download the PDF, get the work done, and let us know what you think.
Awesome. Ladies, have the most rebellious, joy-filled day.
I love it, because we are Rebels for Joy, my friend. We'll see you soon. Mwah. Bye, girls.
Bye.